the digestive system featuring lipids. The food is placed in the mouth and mechanically broken down by the teeth. I feel satisfied with my food due to the sensory receptors on the back of my tongue, also known as taste buds. These send nerve impulses through the cranial nerves to the brain. In the back of the mouth, there is salivary glands which produce saliva. Saliva contains salivary amylase that helps break down food past mechanical digestion. The food exits the mouth and enters the pharynx and the esophagus by swallowing. When you swallow, the soft palate moves back to close off the nasopharynx, and the epiglottis covers the glottis, forcing the bolus to pass down the esophagus. The esophagus is a long muscular tube that pushes food down using rhythmic muscular contractions. This is called peristalsis, which happens everywhere in the digestive tract but starts in the esophagus. The esophagus' sole purpose is to move the food from the mouth to the stomach. The food then makes its way through the cardiac sphincter. Once through the cardiac sphincter, the food reaches the stomach. Here, the digestion of proteins begin and proceeds to move the food into the small intestine. Just above the stomach, there is the liver. In the liver, there is a structure called a bile duct. The bile duct takes bile away from the liver. The bile produced by the liver is stored in the gallbladder. Bile also contains bile salts, which comes from cholesterol, and they emulsify fat in the small intestine, which aids in the mechanical digestion of fats. The gallbladder is a muscular sac attached to the liver. Any excess bile produced by the liver is stored here. The pancreas is an elongated and semi-flattened organ. Most pancreatic cells produce pancreatic juice, which has sodium bicarbonate to help neutralize stomach acid and digestive enzymes for all types of food. Lipase, a pancreatic enzyme, digests fat molecules in the fat droplets after they have been emulsified by bile salts. This receives messages from CCK and secretin to release lipase. The small intestine is divided into three parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The first 25 centimeters of the small intestine is called the duodenum. The bile duct connects the liver and the pancreas to the duodenum, which receives pancreatic juice and bile. The enzymes in the pancreatic juice and the enzymes produced in the duodenal wall bind together to help complete the process of food digestion. The walls of the small intestine are filled with villi. The villi contain many other microvilli that increases the surface area to better the absorption of nutrients. Fats are entered into the microvilli through epithelial cells. There are receptors in the small intestine that send hormones to the pancreas to regulate the release of lipase. Partly digested protein and fat stimulate the release of CCK. The large intestine is divided into four parts: the cecum, the colon, the rectum, and the anal canal. It is larger in diameter than the small intestine, but shorter in length. The cecum is a small pouch in the first part of the small intestine with the junction called the appendix. The appendix tends to be removed if it becomes inflamed. Next, we reach the colon. The colon's purpose is to reabsorb fluids and process waste from the body and prepare for elimination. The last 20 centimeters of the large intestine is the rectum. The rectum opens at the anus where defecation happens. Feces are pushed into the rectum by peristalsis.